see the future of music heading. I would like to see the future of music heading in a way of more originality and less people covering other people's songs for singles.
MTV Studios, and it is a special Grammy edition. And right now here with Chris DeGarmo and Jeff Tate from the band Queensryche. Now, I've said on MTV tons of times that I've been a big Queensryche fan for a long time.
And when it paid you well.
Thank you for that. But when it started out, you guys were kind of like an underground heavy metal type band. And now being nominated for 2 Grammy categories, you're like a rock band. Queensryche, a rock band.
That's what it says on paper.
But do you know what I mean? Before, you kind of had an underground thing, and now, I don't know if it's you gained a lot of credibility, which in my opinion, you guys have always had.
They started playing our songs on the radio. That kind of changed things a bit. But I think we're still kind of an underground band. We're just a big underground band.
Underground band that sells millions and millions of records. Now, you were nominated for the Best Rock Performance from a Duo or Group and the Best Rock Song category. Now, where were you when you found out about the Grammy nomination?
Good question, Ricky. Testing the limits of the memory, yes.
We'll let you think about it. Jeff? Wrong answer.
I found out on my answering machine, actually.
Who told you?
So I was home. Chris told me.
Oh, well, we'll find out. We'll give you some time to think about it. And when we be back talking to Chris and Jeff, we're also going to play Silent Lucidity, so stick around. So Grammy edition of the Headbangers Ball, and right now we're with Chris and Jeff from the Grammy-nominated Queensryche. Now, you're sort of, as far as songwriting goes in the band Queensryche, you haven't written that many songs, correct?
Incorrect, Ricky. I've written a few songs.
Well, I thought that you predominantly wrote most of the lyrics for most of Queensryche songs, correct?
Well, lyric-wise, we've sort of split up. I got a little head start on Chris when it came to Mindcrime because I did most of that stuff. But through our career, he's been sort of half and half with me.
Oh, we'll see. I stand corrected. Now, it must be quite a compliment when this, basically the song Silent Lucidity was nominated for Best Rock Song, and that's kind of a compliment to the songwriter. And you did write Silent Lucidity. Am I right there?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So that's a... so far we're what, 1 for 1?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a pretty good compliment, right?
Yeah, that is. It's certainly something to smile about. We've been doing a lot of that lately.
And do you plan to be at the Grammys?
Yes, the band is actually performing at the
Grammys. Great. Are you going to do the whole orchestra thing and everything?
Yeah, well, we're actually going to do a part of the orchestra thing because the actual amount of orchestra that we use to record the piece far exceeds the space allowed on the Grammy stage. So we've sort of edited the orchestra down to a reasonable amount, and we will have enough, though, to make it sound cool.
Here's something I'm curious about. You guys are a rock and roll band, but for Silent Lucidity, you use an orchestra. Was it difficult to tell all these people, like a string section, a horn section, okay, I want you guys to do this, or did you have training in that type of thing?
No, we worked with a guy named Michael Kamen, who was a conductor, musician, excellent, and he arranged the orchestral accompaniment for the song. We've worked with him since '84 on our Warning album. That's where we first began our relationship with him, and we've just sort of been doing things with him off and on, you know, as the albums go by. And he did a fine job, and he basically took care of all that because he's familiar with the, you know, the different instruments, and he had in his head what he wanted to hear, and he took care of it.
Did it give you chills the first time you heard it live with the orchestra? Because, I mean, when I saw you guys do it at the MTV Music Awards and the whole orchestra kicked in, I mean, it gave me like goosebumps, sort of.
Yeah, we definitely experienced the same thing the first time we heard it.
Okay, let's play the video that we were talking about. Here is Silent Lucidity from Queensryche. It's the Grammy edition of the Headbangers Ball, and right now we're backstage at the beautiful MTV Studios. Actually, they won't let us in front of the stage. We're here with Chris and Jeff of Queensryche, and before you won an award, I think it was the MTV Viewer's Choice Award. Is there any difference in the feeling it gets from winning something that all the fans gave you, or the Grammys, which is, if you win, is kind of an industry type thing?
Well, the MTV Viewer's Choice Award was very special because that was people just calling in, the viewers of the show.
How much was your phone bill?
Well, I don't have that many relatives, but we paid them to call over and over and over again, actually, Ricky. But no, that was great. And I mean, I think the Grammy is obviously a different voting scenario, but we'd be very happy if we could win that as well. I mean, I don't know, that hearing it from the fans, you know, those are the people that are watching the videos, and there was a lot of real good videos that we were up against there, so we felt pretty lucky to have won that.
Now, speaking of videos, you have a new video which we're going to play in a little bit for anybody listening. Now, the album Empire has been out
73 weeks.
That's well over, that's like 20 weeks longer than a year.
That's very good.
But it still has a feeling of being a new album in a sense. I mean, it has no signs of slowing down. Anybody listening, somebody was telling me that the radio stations are picking up on that song really, really quick, and obviously we're going to be playing a real lot of it on MTV.
It was the most difficult video we've ever made. It lasted the longest. It was a month shoot on the entire project. And we began the project in Spokane on our last show of the tour. Thank you, Spokane. You were a great audience, and we shot a lot of...
It's kind of a home show, right?
Kind of. You know, we're from Seattle, which Spokane's not too far from there. Anyway, we shot the live portion of it there, and then we adjourned to Puget Sound to shoot on a very cold, blustery day, and shot some scenes there, then up around the Seattle area, and then we took a helicopter ride up to the Deception Pass area, and I actually got to ride in a helicopter, and they dropped me off on an island out in the middle of the bay, and went around me with a helicopter for a few hours shooting shots there. Then all the film was sent down to Los Angeles to be processed, where it was conveniently lost for 2 weeks.
That makes it nice. Like, let's get on that helicopter and go do it again.
Yes. So we were faced with, what to do. And luckily, through the work of our record company and management company, they managed to find it. And then we had another shoot in L.A. to finish the whole thing. So it was about a month project to do with so many different aspects to it. It was real enjoyable, but hard work.
We'll be back with Chris and Jeff of Queensryche as the special Grammy edition of the Headbangers Ball continues. Don't go anywhere.
I have to go to America tomorrow.
Here's Ball here with Chris and Jeff of Queensryche. Now, we've spoke a lot about the Grammy nominations and the Empire record. Are you working on anything new?
Well, we're kind of in the vacation mode right now, actually, just kicking back in Seattle, relaxing, not really trying to get too wrapped up in Queensryche, but I think we're planning on a fall recording schedule, so somewhere between now and then I think we'll put together an album. Shall we, Jeff?
What was that?
Did you have any idea that Empire, I mean, it seems like 73 weeks now that Empire's been out, and did you have any idea that it would still be, like, it's pretty fresh? I mean, they're releasing singles, like anybody listening is just released, and everybody's going crazy about it. Did you have any idea that it would be up on the charts and as popular for so long?
Not a clue.
I mean, this is a pretty nice surprise, right?
Yeah, it is. It's very much of a surprise, and of course it's going to make, working and topping this album with the next album even more difficult, which, we're looking forward to. It's going to be quite a challenge to do that. Yeah, we'll probably, go in a little different direction, of course, and not try to compete with, the style of Empire. But who knows? It all might change tomorrow.
We'll just be surprised. One thing I kind of don't want to ask you, but it just seems like it's the thing in the music scene. You are from Seattle, and Queensryche is a band from Seattle, and it seems like now the Seattle music scene has basically dominated rock and roll. I mean, with all these bands like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana, that type of thing. I mean, is there any reason that you think all these bands now are coming from Seattle?
Well, the ones you've mentioned, I think, are all from Seattle. They're not copy bands that have come up from various parts of the country and trying to cash in on the Seattle popularity. And those bands that you mentioned are very good bands.
Right.
And, I think they should be rewarded for their creativity and the real reason?
It has to do with the weather, doesn't it?
It's actually more complicated. That Boeing has been conducting chemical experiments on the Northwest regions. I'm totally serious, for quite some time, and we were fortunate enough to be asked to participate in this experiment, as were some of our friends and everyone.
Oh, I was supposed to cut you off right there? No. Well, thank you for taking the time. Now, Tuesday is the Grammys. They will be performing on it. They are nominated for 2 categories: Best Rock Performance
by a duo with a vocal,
and Best Rock Song, written by this guy. Congratulations on the nomination. You know what they say, the nomination is good enough or something like that, don't they? No, actually, they say it's really nice getting nominated, but it's twice as good as if you win.
It is. But, you know, if you're nominated, you get to wear a medallion like they give you in the Olympics. So we're looking forward to that.
And, you know, we've never seen too many of the medallions, because that means you didn't win, but you just won the nomination, right?
Also, well, it means that you went to the party and got the medallion while you're at the party.
You have an extra medallion?
We've been nominated before, but we didn't go to the party, so we don't have a medallion. But now, that will change.
I see how it works. Okay, well, thanks again for taking the time to talk to us. Right now, it's time to play something from Soundgarden. Now, Bad Motorfinger has been nominated for the Best Metal Performance, and we spoke to Chris Cornell and asked him about the chemistry of Soundgarden.